How's it going, guys? Welcome to, I guess if you read the title, this is like my parts that I just purchased, for a nice computer. It comes out to about $726-ish dollars. That's how much it came out for me. Obviously, the prices may vary depending on where you are. Most of it arrived. Some of the parts I already had. I'll explain that, later. And the only thing that's missing is the case. The case sadly did not come with me, or it did not come today. So I guess I'll show you guys what the case is. This is the case I ended up going with. It's a DIY PC Cuboid R. I specifically went for the red one. You all will see right now when I start opening the actual package itself why I went for the red one. So yes, you can see it's $54.98. And that's the sale until 6 days from now, from Monday. So I assume 5 days from when this video goes up. Monday the 26th, so like right after Christmas is when the sale ends. So if you do intend on picking up this case, I would do so before then. Sadly, I would love to show you guys me building the computer, but that is not going to be possible because I'm going to be building it at a friend's house. But afterwards I can show off like what it ended up looking like and all that stuff. So I'll start with the stuff I already had just to get that out of the way. So the power supply, I have an EVGA 500 watt power supply. It's nothing fancy, it's just a regular 80 plus certified, not even like bronze or anything, but this runs about $40 give or take. So it's not very expensive. And it does what it's supposed to do, right? It does what a power supply does. It has all the proper connections that I need. All that nice fun stuff. This video is not sponsored by anyone, even though if anyone wants to sponsor it, feel welcome to. Also, this PC has a specific purpose, which is why I bought that case specifically, is I want it to be easier to move than my current one. Because right now I have an NCXT H440 packed with like crazy high things into it, so don't worry about that. Then here, my processor, I don't know if it's even going to be able to be picked up there. It is an i5 6600K, but for the build I did not use, I would recommend an i5 6500. I think that's ideal for the price because a 6400, paying like the $10 or $20 difference to get a 6500, I think it's a valuable overclock. But then from the 65 to the 6600, I don't think it's as worth it anymore. But I definitely would get the i5 6500, not the 6600K. I didn't get a Z170 motherboard anyways because I don't plan on overclocking on this thing. And now we can get into the big boy Newegg box here. And you guys can probably get this build to under like $700 if you really wanted to, because I did make some extra expenses specifically to match the theme of the build. I'm gonna try to see if I can like flip this over to show you guys like how cool this was all packaged in here. Like everything is like covered in like the cool little air bubbles, and it's all Tetris in there. I think that's really cool. Sadly, like I said, I couldn't get the case on the same day, but that's okay. So we're gonna take the air bubbles out. And first things first, I guess we'll get the nice smaller Newegg box here. And this box has my RAM and my storage options. For RAM, I went for the Avexor Core Series DDR4 2400. It's 8 gigabytes, one 8 gigabyte stick. It has red LEDs on it. Case also has red LEDs on it. I hope you see where I'm going with this. I'm going for a full black and red build. This was the least expensive RAM I could find for DDR4 anyways, and it's pretty good. I have some blue ones in my actual computer. I have 16 gigs of the blue version, so I think it's really good RAM, and at the price it's like $41. I think it's as low as at least as I've seen it recently. And then for storage, a lot of people might be weirded out by this. This is another place where you could probably save money, but not. I don't think you could save a whole lot. Obviously, you could get like a solid state drive or hard drive. I instead went with a solid state hard drive. It's 500 gigabytes. It's a Seagate Fire CUDA. it was like $65, whereas a regular 1 terabyte hard drive is $60, and you can't get anywhere close to this much storage in a solid state drive for a reasonable amount of money. I think the only reasonable amounts would be like 120 gigs, and that's not nearly enough. I'm going to be repackaging everything because, like I said, I'm going to be taking all this to my friend's house to build it with him tomorrow. And so that's what I want. I went with the solid state hard drive also because it is faster than a typical hard drive, obviously by a pretty significant amount, all things considered. So I thought, you know, why not go ahead and do that. So we can set this aside. Oh, click some keys. Hopefully didn't mess with it. Did not mess with it. Next, I'm gonna get the CPU cooler out. Hyper 212 LED. I love the Hyper 212 Evo. I think it's fantastic. I've used a lot of them in my builds. If you just want, you know, really good temperatures and air cooling, no like dealing with an AIO or anything like that. And it's also pretty cheap. This one I believe was about $20, $30, somewhere around there. It might be 30, but I got it on a Newegg sale, but I'm not including those as the prices. My final price is what these items would cost without any mail-in rebates, anything like that. So, you know, it comes out to about $750. Like I said, you could drop it. Actually, it comes out to probably around $730. You could drop it quite a bit to like at least under $700 if you don't care about all the parts that I'm about to show you, and I'll explain that once, and I'll explain it later. But the Hyper 212 LED, just a regular Hyper 212 Evo, but with a red LED instead of just a regular fan. I guess I can like just put that back there so you all can continue to look at it. Next, our big boy L graphics card. I did get a Power Color Red Devil. Once again, this is probably where you can start like cutting off a little bit of price, because it is an RX 470. It's a 4 gigabyte. It's not even, you know, an 8 gigabyte model. I believe I paid $160 for it, but it typically sells for $190. So once again, that's the price that I'm going to be using. And obviously, at $190, you could just get an RX 480 instead. It'll perform so much better. But if you really want to keep like the price a lot lower, you could find lesser RX 470s for about $160, $170 around there. So you could take another like $20, $30 off of this nice Red Devil here. But I don't know, I like the Red Devil once again because of the let's see if I can open it here. I have no idea where my knife is, sadly. Oh, it is right next to me. I'm gonna open it, probably not open like all of it. I mean, there's no point in me taking out the 212 out of its case, that's for sure. But I love the way that this, like, the Red Devil text looks and all that fun stuff, you know. RX 470, I think, is priced incredibly, and even more if you just want to stay at 1080, which for now is the plan with this computer. It could probably do 1440, but I think 1080 is good enough for me for now. So we're gonna take it out. Not much in here, just, you know, probably like the installation CDs and all that other fun stuff. I'm gonna take it out here. This product requires external power. I know that. 500 watts also is enough for this computer. If you could get 650, I probably would. I already had the 500 watts, so I used it. Look at this. Look at this graphics card. That black and red looks really nice. It says, obviously says Red Devil on it. Why that's upside down? I don't know. I feel like that should have, you know, been this way so that you could see it. Whatever. That's interesting. But yeah, so this is what the card looks like. I think the card looks great, and obviously a lot of people would be like, "Oh, it doesn't matter because you can't even see the graphics card." In this case specifically, you can. I'll show you here again, because on that side window, that's where your graphics card goes. So you have like full visibility of all the fans and stuff on it. So I definitely had to go for the black and red to get that nice crisp look here. I'm sorry for the sound that this the anti-static paper makes, but like I said, I do have to keep everything stored for tomorrow. I guess I can just like kind of leave it out now that I think about it, and we'll just put it down like this. It's okay. It has a little plastic thing protecting it, even though like pretty sure it's not going to get shocked or anything. I can actually like put it up against that one. That's a really cool looking thing. This is a different karambit than the one I typically use because I don't know where my red and black karambit is. So if you guys have noticed, I'm a pretty fan of the red-black color scheme. Probably my favorite color scheme. And then, last but not least, we have our motherboard. The motherboard is definitely a place where you can cut off quite a bit of money. I went for the MSI H110M gaming motherboard. Obviously, this is a micro ATX micro ATX build. If you guys hadn't noticed, I should have probably said that at the beginning because it's more portable. But a mini ITX is significantly more expensive, and I'd rather just be able to get like full-size parts, a full-size cooler, and all that nice fun stuff without having to deal too much with all the other problems. Once again, I went for this motherboard. What I would recommend if you wanted to drop quite a bit of money, I would recommend the ASRock H110M. I believe it's the DGS. It's like, I think it's like $46.99. This one was $75, I think, after taxes and stuff. So it's like I think it's like $69.99 or something like that. So it is quite a bit pricier. So like I said, you could probably drop the price to $650, even like $600, but $600 I think is pushing it. But probably like $650 to $750 is what you're going to be looking at. This motherboard, once again, we got it because it's black and red, so it matches the theme of everything. Looks really nice. I guess I can take this one out, but with the motherboard I have to be a bit more careful because it's a pretty important part here. So I'm just gonna very carefully. There you go. You get the nice black with red. The motherboard, I know this one I'm not gonna be able to see at all, but like I thought might as well have it all thematically similar. And let me go ahead and just put this away again. Ooh, very carefully, please, because this motherboard I'd rather not have to repurchase. I'd rather not have to repurchase anything if at all possible. And I also, I feel like a lot of people are far too cautious with their parts. But obviously, I don't want to tell you not to be cautious because these can be some pretty expensive parts, all things considered. So being careful, having anti-static gloves and all that kind of fun stuff or anti-static gloves or an anti-static wristband, obviously pretty good. But I have like a glass table here. Glass is not known for its conductivity. I think I put that on backwards, but that's okay. It still fits in here. And obviously this comes with like the SATA cables and all the stuff you need, but I have red and black SATA cables, which I guess I'll get right now just to see. I have some nice red and black shortened SATA cables. I got these on Amazon for very cheap. I'm not including these in the price because the motherboard comes with SATA cables, but I believe the motherboard ones are black. Like just black on black, where these are red and black to match the rest of the build. And I only need one because I'm only putting one hard drive in for now. But it does have quite a bit of space for more, so there's all the parts. I know it doesn't look like all of them because I am, I guess, missing a couple here. So let's go ahead and, set it all up. I have the like 500 watt. The power supplies probably shouldn't be at the top of anything. It's pretty heavy like that. And then we have obviously the my RAM and all that stuff elsewhere. But that's basically it. Like I said, it's gonna come out to like $700-ish, give or take. I'd recommend the 6500. Like I said, I didn't even get a Z170 motherboard. I don't intend on overclocking. I think the 6500 is more than good enough. The 6400, it's all right, but I feel like if you can spare the $20, I would just get the 6500. The i3 is fantastic. You can definitely cut off a lot of money by getting an i3 over an i5. I've heard that the i3 can bottleneck the 470 and 480 series cards, but I mean, I have one of my friends has an i3 with a GTX 1060, the 6 GB version. He hasn't experienced any problems, but you know, I guess everyone's experience differs. So that's the computer. After it gets built and everything, I'll probably do a couple benchmarks just to show you all how it performs. You know, have like a full video of it, like here on top of the table, doing whatever it is people do with computers. Like I said, I would love to be able to build it on camera, but I'm going to be doing it at a friend's house. So that's going to do it. I'll leave a link to all the parts here in the description, as well as like the PC part picker list. The only thing about the PC part picker list is it has a different hard drive in it, because this solid state hard drive isn't on PC part picker for some odd reason. And like I said, the PC part picker will have the 6500 just so you guys can get a more accurate price. But you know, other than that, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you all think. Let me know what you all would like to see different, or what you all would like for me to do, and I'll see you all next time.